With sneakers being how they are now, do you just pay resale value? I mean, or do you just only get it if you can get it?
You enter sneakers.
Yeah, do you enter the sneakers app and try to win?
You remember, you're like,
If I want to have a bad day.
What's going on, guys? We are back in the metaverse here. Got another podcast for you guys with another special guest. Part of the OpTic family. It's only right that we have this gentleman here. We actually met him in an episode that we did. Part of one of the most winningest Halo teams and one of the most winningest esports players in gaming period for the game of Halo.
Okay.
Yo, he's smiling
He's
big
ready.
right now.
He's like, yeah, that's right.
OpTic aPG.
Thank you.
There we go.
This is crazy because if we start at the beginning, 2006,
Yeah.
11,
Yeah,
11 years old.
That's wild.
So wait, what would that put you at right now as far as age?
I'm 28. I'll be 29 this year in August.
Okay.
How do you even begin a career in professional esports gaming at 11?
I'm an only child, so thankfully I'm very spoiled. I'm fine to admit that. My parents, I went to them when I was young and I said, hey, there's this thing called MLG, and I first didn't go for 4v4, so there was just free for all, and then there's 4v4 as well. I just went by myself just to play free for all, but my parents, they would go with me to the events up until I turned 16. So I went to them, asked them if I could go. They would go to the events with me, but find other things to do while I'm playing. Like, so
Right.
my mom loves golf. She would go to, like, say my first event in Dallas, she would go to a golf course around here, and then she'll try and find something to do while I'm playing, and then we meet up at night. Obviously, make sure I'm with people that are responsible and not going to hurt me or anything like that, because I was young. But thankfully, my parents, man, it's really just my parents. They allowed me to go.
That's super dope.
Okay, so 2006, I was selling drugs and I had an Xbox, and if I'm not mistaken, like that's when things first went live, right? Like for Halo, like you could get online and play with other people.
That was before I used to plug the first Xbox. I had to plug it in. My computer was in the other room, and I have to run over to the room and set up the server and run back to the other room and have everything connected.
Because I remember, like,
but that was like real life,
right? We used to just like smoke and play live, and it was just like a new thing to us because I always grew up on the PC side of LANing and things of that matter, and going to tournaments. We had to carry your own PC into the lobby and plug in a million fucking wires all over the place. But then now it's on the console, and back then, it was different, and it was one of those things where you didn't think it would ever transition from PC to console and then to where it is now.
More importantly, to see the beautiful story of like we grew up definitely in the generation of like get off the game, quit playing video games. So to see that his parents were able to embrace that and support him through it, and then has obviously led to a fruitful career, is just incredible.
Now, I got a question though. So you're at 11 playing Xbox. When you were even younger, did you play like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Dreamcast?
So, like I said, I was very spoiled. So I had all game systems. I had Dreamcast, I had 64, I had PS1, PS2, Xbox. The thing that, like, I was a gamer, like a straight up gamer. I would play like. Back then, it was NBA Live. Nobody would play 2K. Like 2K was like the last thing that you'd be like NBA Live, Madden Live, stuff like that. Ratchet and Clank. I would play mad other games like BioShock. I would play mad other games, but
BioShock's my shit, bro.
So you were born in 95, and I had NBA Live 95.
That's
on PC.
It's crazy. But I played other games, but the thing that really like got me hooked was Halo 2, because like you said, Live just came out, because Halo 1 didn't have Xbox Live like that. They had something called Xbox Connect, and that was like kind of like a rinky-dink way.
That's the one I was talking about, where you had to plug it into one room, run to the room, set up the server, run back.
I forgot all about that's probably what I'm talking about then too, because I forgot all about that.
It was super
I haven't heard the word Connect
so
period in so long.
It was, and I was just so young that just trying to do that on like a Windows 98 PC, I'm just not gonna be able to get it. I'm just gonna go play something else. But Halo 2 is when I just got addicted. Like, I was just anything I could do every day. I'm coming home, like, playing that game. I'm going to make, like, if I'm sick, my parents are going to hide the Ethernet cord. If they go out to work, I'm finding that Ethernet cord and plugging it in. Because it was like you said, I would have to go to a different room, my dad's office, run that Ethernet cord back into my room, plug it into my Xbox and whatnot.
That DSL Roadrunner.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we all started
kids
on.
don't even know about DSL
hilarious.
and Roadrunner at all.
So now take us up to today.
Because Halo now is on PC.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're still playing. Yeah. So
it's like from PC to the Xbox back to the PC.
I mean, but even then, like you're going to these events at 11, and are you playing with a team? I mean, how does that even work at such a young age? Like, how are you able to network, get to know people, and just kind of like find your
how do they know he was good?
Yeah, like how does that work?
That's a great question. So back in the day, you would have, so the way the tournament's scheduled is it's Friday through Sunday, right? And then Friday is something called free for all. And then you just play by yourself and you do like a round robin up until like 7 rounds or so. And then after Friday, you make it to the pro free for all. The pro free for all starts on Saturday night. But so for all of Saturday during the day is the amateur 4v4 and the pro 4v4. So that's why I was just playing by myself in the free for all. So like I said, my first tournament just went for free for all. I got picked up on a team. Like they were telling me by myself. They're like, hey, you want to play with us? We need a fourth. They invited me to be on their team for that event, my first event. But I was really good at free for all. That was my thing. Like back in the day, because I was really young. I wasn't good enough to comprehend what to do in a 4v4
team
match.
format.
How
Sure.
Exactly.
to play a team role.
So that's how I got my name out there, was free for all. So in Halo 2, I was, like I said, I was very young, but I was still very good. I was getting, my best placing was 9th in free for all. And that was the last Halo 2 tournament in 2007. And the tournament before that, I got top 24, I think 24th place in the pro free for all. And so I was really close to getting top 8, at 12 years old.
Yeah, they're like.
But how many people are playing these things that you're going to?
Back then, a lot. Like Halo 2 was like that shit. Like that was like the main game.
Because
like,
if you're number 8 and 9 out of like what we're talking thousands and thousands,
yeah,
or
it was
just thousands.
It was I would say. So there back then it would sell out. 4v4 would sell out in minutes. Like the team passes would sell out in minutes, like a shoe drop, right?
Yeah,
like,
to be able to just go and compete.
Yeah. So you trying to like say what you line up, you're trying to get the shoes online,
right?
You type your information in and it'd be gone, stuff like that. That's what would be happening with the team passes.
But the day before, anyone can come in, correct? Like that Friday when you're playing
for the
free for all.
You have to purchase a pass for that as well. But there's like the people that would play in the 4v4. So I'm trying to think of how many people. So you do like 4 times 256 is the amount of teams. So however many people that were playing in the 4v4 are playing in the free-for-all as well, too.
Now people are traveling all over to these events?
100%.
I'm trying to think, like, was it one of those situations where, like, it's being sponsored by all these big companies and it's one of those worldwide things? Or
was Halo bigger than Call of Duty back then?
Because it's still building at that point.
So Halo's bigger than Call of Duty at this time.
Yeah, Halo was like, Halo 2 was that game. That was that game. Like, even Halo 3 was that game. But Halo 2 was like, everybody's playing it. That's like the time period I'm saying the team pass is selling on the instance. Like Halo 2 was that time period.
So would you say that Halo is kind of like the foundation that was built on to where Call of Duty, Call of Duty and all these other things?
Yeah, definitely. I think that Halo definitely even just the foundation for how games are made, the ranking systems and things like that. Halo 2
was one of the first ones to put that. You're right. Like,
but that's just through game console though. Yeah. Because PC had been doing it prior since the 90s, late 90s.
But still esports like.
But the word esports and what it evolved
I'm
from.
talking about just like tournaments in general for big cash prizes was like Counter-Strike bigger than Halo?
I mean, I was going to Counter-Strike in 99.
That's hard to say. Because Counter-Strike and PC games is just like a whole different breed. Like,
so we're talking console.
So you're talking console, the biggest console.
Yeah, I'd say console. I'd say be more specific because Counter-Strike is like
that was big,
massive, still massive to this day.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Which is weird to me because I downloaded it and I put it on my PC and I got in there and I was just like, this doesn't feel the same. I don't have that, like, it's just bots and people and it's just like, doesn't look the same. They try to make the maps the same, but tweak it a little bit, and it's just not.
It's not the exact same.
I don't feel the feeling that I had when I was a kid playing it, wrecking these people.
But that's like me when I went to go play paintball again, and I was just like, "This ain't the same, big dog. This ain't the same."
Feel like I'm tired.
It's 110 degrees outside in the middle of summer, full paintball gear on. I'm like, I can't play the way I used to play. It's
You used
the same.
play paintball?
Yeah.
When was this that you went?
Probably like 4 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago now.
I'm down to do a paintball trip.
Yeah, what was your gun?
So I played from the time I was 14. I don't want to get too far in this because it's about you. But when I was 14, I was working under the table at DFW Adventure Park. It's one of the bigger outdoor fields here.
Child labor laws.
Yeah, literally. And we would get paid under the table to ref. And then I ref for a long time. And then I was buying. I probably had 20, 30 different guns. I had all the best shit.
I played with an Angel and a boomstick.
See, this was after the Angel wave, because Angels were good earlier, but then it got into like the DM series, which is it's like DM6 is I think.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
DM6, DM7, and then Intimidators, and then an Ego,
Dude,
which was
the Ion.
So yeah, I shot Egos. I was like one of the first people to try using an Ego, which was this like a new version of the Intimidator, which was like, the bolt sits on top. But that was like, I had all sorts of that's how I learned how to hustle. For our people that don't know, like I was taking guns and flipping them, trading kids, coming up on deals. Like all my friends will tell you from back then.
And then what? Cash out on the next biggest gun or whatever.
eBay. I'd cash them out I'd sell them on eBay. I'd trade for guns. I'd buy a new gun, flip it.
I wonder if you have your old eBay account. Is it still the same email?
I do.
I wonder if you could search sell history and just
I don't think it goes. No, I think
it
they
might.
Go back like 15 years or something crazy like that.
But anyway, I built half the fields at DFW Adventure Park. Me and my buddies built all the fields for them. And then that was like my job from the age of 14 to 19 was that. Then my boy Mikey knows about Gat Splat.
Shout out Larry.
Yeah, shout out to Larry, the other Larry. He was our boss, and I worked at it. It was a scuba shop and a paintball store. And they took over the spot in Louisville and made an indoor field, and I helped them build that entire field, like rolling out turf, setting up everything, and we did that. And then I worked at the paintball store, and then ended up switching and working at scuba, because it was a scuba shop and the scuba was paying more money than the paintball was. So I ended up just doing scuba.
They got a Gat Splat by my house.
Do they?
I think it's just a store though.
But see, now what I've heard though is they have these little fake Gat Splats where it's like airsoft BBs, but they're like paintballs, but they're like
little gel ones.
But they're paint, but they're like the size of airsoft guns. So it's not paintball.
I don't even see that bursting.
Yeah, it does. But
our
like
course
was like super small. It was like
our course was Texas paintball. I don't know if you ever heard about that. It was big.
Texas paintball, hell yeah, I know about.
So
Texas
that was ours. Off FM 620 was where our map was, but it was all outdoors. So they had like the inflatable section.
That's what we played. So that was like the pros would play.
And then they had 3 wood courses in the woods with like school buses and like wooden forts and shit and trees.
If you're just like a kid that doesn't play paintball and you go to a field, you probably want to go play woods because it's more fun. But for us, like we were playing like the actual like competition tournament style. So we would play only on the inflatable.
The only shitty part about like just going for fun is they give you like a Tipman.
Yeah, Tipman 98.
And then they're like, here you go. Awful. And then you get out on the field with these other guys and they're just like,
if you play,
just fucking light your ass.
If you paid extra, you could get the Tipman A5 with the response trigger.
That was a little bit better.
Which you could hold. It had a little spinning. It had a hopper that could at least feed the balls faster.
I had a 9-volt on mine, but I had my trigger sensitive so to where you just barely put your finger on and that hose just like knock off 3 of them.
Probably chopping half the balls though too.
I mean, yeah, it does get pretty gross in there. That's why you gotta get the little thing.
Let's get back to my boy aPG over here.
Sorry, I used to paintball, so I had to ask.
Oh, did you? Okay,
yeah, that's why I asked about like what gun, you got the ions and everything.
Yeah, I had all that. I remember when the ion came out.
Yeah, you go online, you see the little like the trigger and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like paintballing, I don't want to say it's coming back, but I've been seeing a lot of different people playing it more. Mm-hmm. Like even things like I feel like tennis has been taking a good turn, boxing, golf. All these things that kind of had a pause for a little bit.
It was the pandemic.
I was about to say the pause was COVID.
I think it was the pandemic. Everybody went outside and did me and Jordan were playing hocky every day like kids.
You were just trying to figure out something to do.
Yeah, I think that kind of was a huge resurgence for a lot of outdoor stuff. Yeah.
Shit, maybe OpTic should start like a paintball tournament or a paintball team or something. That'd be tight.
Dude, that would be dope.
Hell
yeah.
I feel like it's like anytime we sit down with like you or Bose or Hex or something, everything that, even though we deal with just shoes, our correlations are very, very similar. Yeah. Like the people that were into the shoes were into gaming. Gaming people are into things like paintball and things of that matters. Even though we have an age difference, I feel like it still kind of correlates.
For sure.
And that's one of the things I think is why we fit so well with OpTic Gaming is just because the ties of everything and just how they all kind of merge. I mean, look at what he's wearing right now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Can we talk about what you have on real quick?
Yeah,
Quick fit
he's
check?
drippy
Quick
right
fit,
now.
yeah, quick fit check. He got the LV shades,
The 2.0s.
the 2.0s, 1.1 technically.
Oh, 1.1, excuse me.
millionaires.
I love these.
Those are sick. Got the Chrome Hearts hoodie,
Can't
and
go
then the
wrong.
Lanvin all whites.
He's
Both
got
whites.
chrome sweats too.
and chrome sweats.
It's
Oh
a
my!
full-
I didn't even
it's a
see
full
that.
fit.
Yeah,
It's
he's
I didn't
got-
even see
he's
that.
got the leather crosses.
Yeah, these are the good chrome.
Those are the really
That's
expensive
that
ones.
good
That's
chrome.
that
He
good
said this is that
chrome.
good chrome. He
Yeah,
knows.
when you got the leather,
When you got the leather crosses on,
crosses is an upgrade.
It's not the
Yes.
screen print.
Yeah, even like the hats are like $450 for the embroidery with just a little knot on top, but then once you get the little cross on it, it goes up to $650, $750.
Because the leather and the silver is what drives the prices up on certain things.
Yeah,
But like
that little fucking
little-
thing
it's
on
just-
top
it's this thing right here,
is a
the
Chrome
little-
Hearts jewelry piece,
Yeah,
and that's what drives the price up.
so that's what people do is they'll take say it's these sweats, right? And you get like a hat and you get the silver piece. They'll take the pieces off the hat or take these crosses off and then put them on something else so it can, basically be chrome. It's like say I could take these off and then put them on some Forces.
In
or
a
something
sense,
like
like
that.
they're right?
Yeah.
If you were to strip all that off, it's just sweat.
I mean, Chrome
Like,
though for a long
true,
time,
right?
Chrome did make the bespoke Air Forces and Dunks and stuff like that.
it's funny because when you talk about Chrome, she's been around forever, and it's so weird because like, people that are younger don't know that. So when they think of Chrome, it did kind of come out of the blue in the last like 3-4 years. It got popular again, but it's like we knew about Chrome when Lil Wayne and Joel Santana were
I
repping
think-
Skull Gang.
Skull
Bro,
Gang.
I think of Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
when I
even
think
that.
of Chrome
That's even a
Hearts,
whole
like-
nother generation
Yeah,
back.
like, growing up, those fools had all
Speaking
the
of
chrome jewelry on.
did y'all
Slash.
Did y'all see? You guys know Baccarat, right? Which they make crystal. I didn't realize that.
What do you mean,
So
crystal?
Baccarat, they make like you ever go to someone's house, rich house, and they got the Baccarat fucking
Yeah.
liquor bottle where you pour the
Decanters.
liquor into
Oh, you're
and
talking
the cups and
a
stuff, like
decanter.
crystal.
You're talking about decanter.
like those, right? So Baccarat, and then I also realized the cologne, the Mason Kirk, whatever,
Francis.
was a collab with Baccarat to make those glass things. I had no idea.
I thought it was the same thing.
So yesterday, I saw Chrome Hearts did a collab with Baccarat and made a decanter crystal bottle with all Chrome Hearts like into it. And I was like, oh
and
my
it's
God, so
$1
sick.
million.
That's what I said. You
So
couldn't even figure out
Is it
how
on
to get it.
the website?
Let me find. No.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
find it.
so
Hold on.
expensive.
Yeah, you saw that guy that was like trying to sell the crate, and I think it's just a shipping crate, but it had like the stencil spray of Chrome Hearts because I guess whatever they're shipping it in was Chrome Hearts, and it was going for $15,000. It's just a wooden box with 4 legs, and they wanted $15K for it. And all it had was just a spray on Chrome Heart stencil.
Dude, that's crazy.
I just found an
And I don't-
older one on Grailed for $1,900. I thought it'd be more than that.
That's ridiculous.
That's the old one though.
I like certain things of Chrome. Like I like the leather and whatnot, the T-shirts and stuff like that.
I feel like the t-shirts don't hold the quality,
Dude,
bro.
the T-shirts are. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to say it on the camera,
Yeah.
thing,
It's
but
gotta
the
keep
T-shirts they are. It's like Hanes.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. So when you get
The
those white
quality.
tees from Target or Walmart and put them on, it's just like real flimsy and
Bro,
see-through.
It's
say I won't buy this
it's
right
basically like a merch tee. That's why I'll cop the tees. Like I got the tee on right now, but I will try
Yeah,
it.
you really got a full fit
hold
on.
on.
Hold on. You got a full. You can't.
Oh yeah,
Can
I
fit
got
it?
the.
Let me see.
I got the.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. He ain't bugging around. My boy ain't bugging around today.
And he's got the chain too, though. We
Hold
got
on,
to
you
admire
got the
the,
chain?
no.
Yeah, by
Admire
Jeff.
the
Okay,
Jeff
okay,
chain.
yeah.
I do have a Chrome chain. I do. Have
So
Chrome
our
chain.
jeweler that does our chains, we plugged with Hex, and he did y'all's chains.
Dude, I was
So-
gonna
we
ask
got
you
the
guys
same
about
one.
that. I was gonna ask you after the podcast because you guys should be shining and
Yeah.
Hexes be shining. This is like. I was so happy when I got this.
Yeah,
it's
dog.
like,
It's
'cause
legit.
It's a trophy. It's
It
a
is.
trophy.
It
All
is.
the jewelry that essentially our team got. The championship ring, chain, everything.
Yeah,
is like
those
basically
rings
trophy.
were-
It's different when you're
Insane.
given a chain and different than when you earn a chain.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
So then every time you put it on or someone compliments you, you're like,
Yes,
I
There's
earned
there's
this.
a different level of pride there.
Yeah.
When people ask, like a lot of people notice, like OpTic, they'll see the logo and then they'll ask like, "Hey, where'd you get the chain?" Like, then I get to tell them like, "Hey, we
Yeah.
got it at a world championship. We got it while we were winning our tournament for
Yeah.
winning the previous one." It's a great story, man. It's blessed. I'm very blessed and very grateful.
Lastly, though, he also has the bag.
Yeah, the LV bag.
The LV bag. He came prepared. I don't know if he normally dresses like this or if he's just coming to stun on us or what.
So,
This is
so here's the thing, and we spoke briefly about this beforehand. But when we originally met, we gave him the Jordan 6s for the Halo.
Yeah, I wanna talk
team,
about that.
and that was just kind of like an intro level. But he's actually become he watches our episodes.
Yeah, he was saying he watched the
knows
Houston one.
about us now, you know, so it's different. And he was even kind of going in briefly about some of the shoes he has in his storage growing up, and it's like, bro, he's got some.
So were you rocking Chrome Hearts and stuff before you got those Jordan 6s?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was.
Okay.
I've always tried to. I've always, you know, in my humble opinion, I'm the best dressed person in Halo. Period.
Say that with your chest.
No.
Ooh, Embos, he's coming for you, man.
I'm getting there. I said it in Halo, but I will say,
Oh, you said in Halo.
but
yeah.
in esports, humbly, I think I'm the best. I don't think nobody's touched me. If we're going out like different settings, like we're going to brunch, we're going out afterwards,
Yeah,
and we're going
you're
to
going to
dinner.
a
We
party.
got 3 different fits. I'm clearing everything.
I mean,
that fit on.
I'm gonna tell you now. I feel like I'm the flyest white guy in Dallas, so it's like, you know, I can probably
There's
say
nothing
that.
wrong with saying, dude. You gotta have confidence.
That's like when
Right.
people say they're the best rapper. That's their opinion.
Yeah.
Like they
Nothing
might.
wrong with
Wayne, best rapper
You
of
got to
all time.
feel that way. You're supposed to.
Now I want to talk about when we gifted them the shoes. So
Yeah.
we gifted you the shoes, and so us 3 afterwards, we noticed that like when you got the shoes, you're just kind of like. But the other guys who had never had Jordans before were just so ecstatic. And
You
we're
could
like,
tell he had already
we're
known
like,
about him.
we're like obviously like this guy, like it's
Yeah.
he wears sneakers because the reaction wasn't as crazy, and it's not a bad thing at all. But it's like, you know, it's
I know what you're saying. I
It's
know what
another
you're
thing
saying.
to go right
You
to the
clearly-
collection.
If someone gifted it to us, we would act the same way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like their first pair of Jordans that they never
Right.
got. Shit, they probably never even looked at Jordans
Yeah.
like the same way that we do.
You're
So
I was
Ben
like,
had this shit.
obviously this man's got some shoes in his collection.
And he does.
Because who
He
was the
does.
guy that's a smaller guy? I think he had glasses. He was so happy. It was his first
Ola?
pair of Jordans.
Ola, I think.
He's like a more of a
Justin- yeah,
smaller
Ola.
build. That guy was so ecstatic, and that shit
He
just
was
made me
lit.
so happy. And then when I saw them post a picture, you guys, what championship? Y'all won a championship like right after that, and everyone had the shoes on, and I was like, damn, they're really happy about this
Yeah.
shit.
I saw. Okay, speaking of winning championships, I saw in the notes that it said like you guys have won the past 3. So does that mean those are the only 3 past tournaments you guys have like played in? Period.
Or is that-
well, not played in,
Okay.
So
You played in more than that.
Yeah. So I'll try and give you like a breakdown of our season. So after we saw you guys and we got the Jordans, that was before our first tournament. That was like our first tournament of Halo Infinite period. Like game just came out. You know.
Was that North Carolina? They said.
Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina. Worst city I've been to.
remember
Don't want to go back there.
So I feel about Washington D.C.
It's just
That was me in Indianapolis last week.
Indianapolis, not the best city either. I've been there too. I don't want to go back. But so we had Raleigh, and then we had Anaheim, and then we got second in Anaheim. Raleigh, we didn't do too well, and then Kansas City was like 3 months after Anaheim, and then Kansas City we got third, and then there was like another 5-month break, and then that's when we started, ramping up. So. August, we had a tournament called the NA Super. It was an online tournament, but worth a lot of money. It was like $125,000 prize pool, and everybody flew to Texas. Better servers, better connection, everything. So it's basically even playing field, and that was like the start of our run. So that doesn't count in the three-peat, but it's still, it's something.
We'll
It's not-
gain the momentum or
Yes,
whatever.
Hold on,
exactly.
Texas is the best server. Period to like play again.
Yeah.
Is it you're closest to
Yeah.
where Halo servers are based out of.
Well, it's not just that. It's more so everybody is more. If a lot of people, like say I get 8 people in the lobby, right? And there's 6 of them in Texas or Central, it's gonna pull its Texas server. So you'd rather be in Texas, and I get like
Oh, so you're talking about your team? Why, like your team, or you're talking about all the teams that are playing would rather be in Texas?
all the teams for that NA Super, that online tournament, they all flew to Texas.
That's crazy.
That's
Talking
why.
to an engineer
Well,
specialist
makes
right now,
sense.
so he's
it
trying
makes
to.
sense because like whenever I bought shoes online, right? Like I use botting programs. You want to get your server to as close as to wherever
The drop is.
your drop is. So if it's dropping on a Shopify website, you want to be closest to Chicago because that's where they're
Exactly.
stuff's.
Exactly.
That's cool.
The Super is when we started like the online tournament, and then we had a tournament in Orlando, and that was like the start of the LAN, placings and like the actual,
Actual
three-peat.
tournament
Yeah.
stuff,
So we had Orlando World Championship, and then Charlotte, and then that's where we're at now.
And how'd you guys do on those 2 tournaments?
Oh, we won all those 3. All,
So now,
including
when,
Super.
so now when you average everything from before to now, y'all are number 1
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
by
without
a landslide.
I don't want to say like
Yeah,
landslide, but
who's the best team that you guys?
Yeah, like
played
yeah.
with?
Who's somebody that's just always in the runnings?
Yeah.
it's there's 2 top teams. Like there's top 3 that is mainly like the teams that you look at.
Right.
Knock on wood 3 times. Not trying to jinx anything,
Yeah.
but it's us, FaZe, and SSG. Space Station Gaming.
Okay.
So those are like the
What's SSG stand for?
Space Station Gaming.
Space Station.
What does aPG stand for?
A Pure Gangster. But it can stand for whatever you want it to be. No,
You got any other different ones that you kind of?
It's whatever I want during the day. It could be like a polite gentleman. It could be like.
Oh wow!
You can switch it up.
You switch it up how you feel.
But when he's got the LV shades on and the chrome heart, he's aPG all day.
The long on.
Crazy. A nickname that they gave me on Scump's like watch party. They call me like 3PG or AP3 because the 3P. Because the 3P. And I was wearing this fit actually, and they did a fit check, and they asked me how much, and it was like averaging about 3K.
Yeah,
so that's
there
like
it is.
double entendre.
Okay.
So one of the things I thought was very fascinating, which I never I've heard it being used, but I've never seen it, is the coach. The coach that sits to the side and navigates. Like
Halo's one of the only ones with a coach.
That was my next question. Is like when you were doing these pickup, those 4v4s and the free for all or whatever. Like, was coaching one of those things in those tournaments back then?
Back in 06?
Yeah, like back then.
So in a free for all, you can't coach. That's just like
every man for himself.
Yeah, every man for himself.
Right,
So,
but then the 4-on-4s.
So the 4v4 Halo, like you said, is like one of the only esports where you have the coach behind you while you're playing. So the coach gives you, keeps you grounded, make sure you guys aren't getting too frantic in communication, make sure you're not going off alone, doing something on the map alone, making sure also there's stuff that comes up like a sniper rifle or a power up, making sure that it's timed properly. So in Call of Duty and stuff, you see the coach come after the game, to talk to the team in between rounds to make sure, they talk to them, make sure they're okay. But in Halo, they have them behind us, make sure that, still doing everything while we're also in game. So it's a fifth set of eyes and also a fifth set of
which is insane.
Yeah, because when we went to the tournament here in Dallas, they went live on the microphones
Call of Duty tournament.
on the Call of Duty ones, and it felt like they were speaking a different language. They were just like saying, was it like code? Y'all have like code short term words that y'all use and shit like that. Like,
so you gotta trying to get things out as fast as possible. Like you gotta, if you want to go deep into it, it's like you trying to make. Say when the game comes out, you run around the map and get call outs for it. So when you're calling out, everybody knows you're on the same page. You want to make sure that you're not using a word that's like got 4 syllables or something like that.
Come on, say some stuff. Give me some.
Like,
just ramble some shit.
I'm trying to think. All right, so say like a normal phrase of communication would be like, all right, I'm going hydro, going C plat, we're going long haul, glass.
So are those different locations on a map? Okay.
Just like I was like literally just thinking in my head running around.
Gotcha.
That's how it was in Counter-Strike. So like we had our own server in Counter-Strike, and we would run just like practice drills. So we would spawn in, get our stuff, and then we would run certain drills, and we had certain names for certain boxes and places to hide and sit up on while bombs are being detonated or terrorists are coming in or you're trying to rescue. And we didn't do short-term words like that. We were just talking shit because we were kids. So we were just like, get on the fucking box. Like, it wasn't very serious. It wasn't serious like that. And then when they went live, it just literally sounded like pig Latin. It was like, I did not understand any. And it's like 8 people talking at once.
That's the other thing. I don't understand how y'all hear when it's so many people talking at the same time.
Y'all are all talking.
And it's like trucker chatter too.
Yeah. You gotta like kind of
10-4.
You gotta kind of train yourself.
Delta 6 or 9. Just like, what?
You train yourself to just like make sure that you're also not cluttering. So you got you want to make sure you avoid everybody just at the same time. You want to make sure that like you are speaking
when you
clearly. Yeah, you don't want to just say unnecessary things. Like you want to. That's something I even personally work on currently. Is like not speaking, like calling out something just way across the map.
Just to call it out.
Yeah, because there's people that just be screaming, and I'll just be like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, I think communication is like one of the
most important parts.
Yeah, you have to have good communication. It will separate a great team from an average team.
What's crazy? It's like it's hard to feel like you hear the coach and you're saying like to keep people grounded, make sure they don't wander off
and not frantic.
You would think that you would just learn to play like that, but I guess sometimes just under the pressure and just also when you have a crowd watching you play. Yeah. Because I play Fortnite with Manny and Christian will wander off, and we have to yell at him like, "Yo, Christian!" Like he'll see a guy and chase him, and then 4 dudes will pop up, and he gets murked, and then now I got to go fight 3 versus 4 just to get his card back and reboot him. And I'm like, we always have to when we see him swing off, I'm like, Christian,
come back,
he comes right back. So it's like I guess it does play a vital role as he's just as important as the player.
That's hilarious.
Coaches like there's bad coaches, but a good coach will stand out, and you will see the importance of a good coach opposed to like one that's just there for the check. Just calling out times. You can just sit there and just call out times and just get the check. But if you want to be more involved, make sure your team is
you're watching every screen at once. That's the crazy thing, is to be able to navigate all the way around, pay attention to what everybody's doing. So I can imagine, I can see the value of a good coach that can see all and be able to communicate whatever back to the team.
So the guys that you're with right now for the three-peat, is it the same guys you played with on those 4th, 3rd, 5th, places that you got prior? Like, has it been the same team so far?
Well, we was talking about Formal earlier. So we picked up Formal after Anaheim.
So OpTic Formal is a player?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's like we're going to the OpTic Formal dance, bro. I don't know. Shit.
But we picked up Matt after Anaheim, and then ever since we picked him up, it's been
cold.
He's a like I don't even know how to put it into words. He's a legend. Like he's a Call of Duty professional. He's a legend in Call of Duty, world champion in Call of Duty. Came back to Halo. This was his first year back in Halo in like a decade.
That's why I was confused, because I was thinking, I'm like, doesn't that guy play Call of Duty? Yeah. I totally forgot. So I want to go back again to 11. You got the 4v4. Did y'all win anything in your early ages with that team? Or what were cash prizes like back then? Like
back in like 06 and back then?
Yeah. Sorry, when you were 11, when you were first starting.
I didn't win anything until 2011. 2011 was my first tournament win, and that was in Raleigh, ironically, the city that I hate. Yeah. But I didn't know.
Keep bringing you back.
Yeah, I didn't know back then. I didn't know what a good city was compared to back then when I was 17, 18. I'm just eating McDonald's. I'm not trying to look for good food, stuff like that.
What's the prize pool for that one? That y'all.
It was like 50,000. I think is the prize pool. You get 20,000 if you win, so that's 5,000 per person.
And y'all got first place?
Yeah. So that was my first winning tournament was in 2011. I got MVP that tournament.
And you were how old then for that?
17.
17.
Now, is this the same team you were with back then? Like, was it the?
No, my teammates weren't even playing Halo back then. I don't even think. But Matt was. But the team that I had back then, it was just like some of the players are still around today, but some of them, retired. But it was like way back in the day. My teammates now, they started, aside from Formal, they started competing, I believe, in 2016. Is when they started to really like go to tournaments and whatnot.
Really play.
It feels like a whole new squad.
Yeah, it just feels like you're like late to the party at that point.
Yeah. Is it in 2016?
Yeah, like Halo's been around for so long. Like you feel like the OGs would stick around. I remember Bose was telling us like back then, they would get knocked out on a tournament, and some guy would be like, "You want to come play with us?" And you just leave his team because they suck, and then he would just like switch teams mid tourney. Do y'all remember that shit?
Yeah.
I'm like, "You just jump ship?" He's like, "Yeah, bro, they suck." He's like, "I was the best player." I was like, right. And you just hop over. Was there ever any situations like that where you just like take a L and then you're just like, "I'm out," and then you just
go
jump?
To a different team.
Someone else pick you up or anything like that?
I have had a situation where it was 2010, right? 2010 was Halo 3. 2011 was Halo Reach. So 2010 was the last year of Halo 3. And this was, I had a tournament in DC. And after the tournament, I can't say the names because they're going to probably watch it, but a team like, this is Sunday night. It's Sunday, I think. And it might be Saturday night. I think they got knocked out early, and it's Saturday night. And they like bring me in their hotel room, and they're like trying to tell me, like trying to coerce me to join their team. Yeah. Like before we even flew back home, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even get a chance to go get my dinner on Sunday yet. And that was like the one time where I seen like the sketchiness in person like that. Yeah. And then ironically, I said no to that team. I flew back home. As I landed, and my parents were driving me home from the airport. I get a text from my teammate saying he joined that team.
Oh no! Yeah,
ironically. So. I was trying to be loyal. And
and
he
did.
Yo, they were out recruiting, bro. They hit all of y'all.
But how did that team end up later on going?
Karma's a bitch. They did terrible. They did terrible. They did absolutely terrible. It was like one of those teams that you expect to just be like a god squad.
Because everybody's good.
So it was like Lakers.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that's the Lakers.
You
like
stack it, but
all them, and then they just fell.
Sometimes it's harder to have people who feel as if they're superior altogether because they're just going to bump heads. No offense. I feel like Westbrooks was always one of those people on the Lakers. It's just like everyone's practicing shit, and he's just over here to the side, like chilling. Not in the huddles and stuff like that. And then, they got rid of him. And then the Lakers ended up going further. And so it's just one of those situations where it's like, you got to make sure you're careful with whoever it is that you recruit.
You got to have like different styles to like blend together. You can't just have 4 people with big heads, big egos. You got to have somebody that's
category strengths.
Exactly. You got to have somebody that's like selfless. You got somebody that's like, always trying. You can have somebody that's always trying to get the kills and be the star, as long as you have somebody else that is okay with not being the star and then being okay doing the dirty work, making sure that the things behind the scenes, not technically behind the scenes, but the things in the game, making sure you're setting your teammates up properly in the game to not like you. I would rather have the assist myself than rather get all the kills. As long as I'm winning the game, I don't care.
Yeah. So that's the argument I have when I play with Jordan's brother, Hayden. We'll play, and he'll just be like, I'm better than you. I'm like, I'm better than you. And at the end, I'll be like, yo, I got 12 kills. He's like, what's your damage, though? Because I'm beating him on the kills.
Yeah, but you're not.
But I was beating him on the damage, too. But he was always trying to say, like, it's not about the kills, it's about the damage, and which is, in the assists and things of that matter, which is true. It all plays its role. You can't have everybody trying to do the same thing, and then all the back end stuff isn't getting swept up.
Just give me a needler and put me in the game, bro.
Needler's nasty.
Give me a needler.
Is it good? Is it good
in this game? In this game, it's nasty. Yeah. It's real nasty.
I had a little Halo time in my life.
Oh yeah, so did I, dude. I played them.
It was my roommates that I had, and this was 2009, 2010, probably, and my roommates were just obsessed.
Yeah.
And
I was obsessed with Halo for a long time.
play.
That was the first video game that I was ever obsessed with. Was the first Halo on the original Xbox.
I was never an Xbox guy. I always had PlayStation.
I had both.
When I played PC, it was Call of Duty and Battlefield 1942 were like my two things.
That was it. Yeah. See, I never got into Call of Duty back then. I was only Halo.
Nah, Call of Duty's was.
I was like, Call of Duty was like, it was on the come up, but now like when Black Ops 2 came out, is when Call of Duty was like,
Oh, Natural Instincts was another one, or Natural Selection was another one. I don't even think that shit's even still around.
Was that a game?
Yeah, you're like these creatures under the ground. And you have like a hive and shit.
I feel like I heard about that.
Natural Selection. I feel stupid explaining it.
When creatures under the ground.
You like move around
naturally.
No, it's tight, bro. Anything that was like that Steam made, I typically was involved with it just because it was just a lot. The format was kind of similar, so I could
switch over.
Yeah, it's all the same stuff. So you won your first one in 2011, and then from there, like were things progressing? Was there ever a downslide? I mean,
I would say they were always progressing. I think that after Halo Reach, Halo 4 came out, but that's when like things were like
shaky.
Because stuff got rocky for Halo. For a second,
that's the time period that I'm talking about.
And you were still playing Halo.
I was playing Halo, but I also it was right when 2011 I was a junior. 2012 I graduated from high school and I went to college. So when Halo 4 came out, I was in college. So I was like doing school. Yeah. But also playing Halo 4, but Halo 4 wasn't that popping, so I'm just kind of like, I'm still playing to maintain, but it's still not like I'm going to a tournament in a community college in like a study room or something like that.
Yeah, it's
not in the convention center. Yeah. So that like one of the tournament organizers, he ran off of people's money. Like dipped out. Wasn't like canceled the event, just dipped out. Money.
It was a rough time.
It was a rough time. It was a rough time in time period in Halo. Yeah. But there was still like some good moments. There was a Halo 4 Global Championship. My friend Ace, he won that tournament. That was like a free-for-all tournament. That was about the best thing that happened during that. But in that time period, I was just like going to school, kind of just doing my own thing in that regard. And then another game came out called Halo 2 Anniversary. And then that's when everything started really picking back up. Yeah.
Were they trying to go like bringing old vibes back?
Was it literally Halo 2?
It wasn't Halo 2. It was like it was like a reskin of Halo 2, but kind of looked different.
Maps?
You had Lockout, you had Warlock, and you had Sanctuary, but that was the only maps. It was like it was a great game. Yeah. It could have been
like a remastered version.
Exactly,
I guess,
exactly. Had a lot of potential to be much better, but they just only put 3 maps in, so you can't even put that on. Like when you're ranking Halos from greatest to worst, you can't even rank that one.
What was after that game?
Halo 5.
Okay.
Halo 5. So when Halo 5 came out, that's when everything started.
That's when it really
the resurgence.
Because it says here you only play Halo.
Yes.
Like so.
It says here.
So like.
So this is the thing. This is the thing. That's why it's funny. Because
do you play any like in between that time? Was there anything else?
So this is the thing.
Like when Halo's sucking, you gotta play something else.
I don't play too many other games. I love Grand Theft Auto.
I feel like that's the only exception when it comes to like.
But I like Call of Duty. I watch hella other games opposed to always playing them.
You watch them.
Yeah, so I'm always on Twitch. I'm watching Call of Duty. I'm watching Warzone. I'm watching Fortnite. I played Fortnite a lot back when that came out. But there's certain games that I have to really like it to like get me to download. I like Apex.
To really play it.
You've never like tried to compete in another game in esports?
So the only time that was like a thought was when a lot of people were switching from Halo to Call of Duty after Halo 5. So Halo 5 ended, and then everybody was switching. But I thought I was thinking about it, but it was no more than a thought. I got an offer from, at that time period, the best Halo team. Their name was Tox. They had just been winning everything, and then that was like a really big moment to me that I just got called up to be on one of the best teams.
Were you on OpTic at that point?
No.
Okay.
They were the
What
old
year is
OpTic
this?
Halo team. This is 2019.
Okay.
It's 2019.
So the old OpTic Halo team was that team.
Yes. And then their teammate, Frosty, he went to Call of Duty. How you were asking about me competing, he actually went and did that. So that's when I got asked to be on their team as his, replacement.
Gotcha.
Got it.
So I was like, I thought about switching, but why would I switch when I'm
that door opened up
Yes.
for
So,
you?
so you went and played with them.
I did in Halo.
You
Yeah.
signed with them. At Halo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
Clearwater, Florida. I
Florida?
say Tampa,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Clearwater.
Florida, baby.
Where'd you go to college as well?
UCF. So
okay.
I'm a senior at UCF. I didn't complete.
That was my next question. I was like, did video games take over? And
Yeah.
you're just like, fuck this shit.
So my parents, they always wanted me to go to school just as a backup plan. They're very, like I said, very supportive, but they always wanted me to, make sure
Pursue
I
your
have something.
dreams.
What'd you go?
Yeah.
What was your degree
Major.
you were going towards?
So I am a senior in economics.
Okay.
Economics.
Wow,
I initially, I was doing industrial engineering. When I first went to college, I was in an engineering program in high school. And I thought to myself, all right, let's continue this. But once I got to deeper in that engineering, I was like, all right, I
it
can't
ain't
do
for
this.
me.
Yeah. It's just, I could do it, but I have confidence that I could do it, but it's just a lot of time that you have to put in. And that's just too much time to put in while I'm also trying to perfect my craft and doing something else, traveling and whatnot. So
Chasing that
Well,
dream.
it worked out though, right?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So like I took some time off in 2016 because that's when the Halo World Championship they basically got introduced. So that was like the biggest one, $2.5 million. I told my parents, I was like, all right, I knew this is coming. I was like, I
had to do this.
You know what I'm saying? They agreed. They said as long as you go back.
Yeah.
But they only want me to do like a class a semester because I travel a lot.
So have you been doing that?
I was,
Okay.
but once because COVID messed up a lot, so everybody was doing online. But I was doing my thing. I had great momentum. I was like super proud of myself. And then Florida just did some whack shit where they made everybody go back in person. No online classes. So
That's
I was,
whack.
So I was like, all right, I can't do it. And then this was when I also moved to Dallas. So that's when I told my parents, all right, I gotta have to stop again. And they were a little bit upset just because I was so close and I was doing so well. But once I moved to Dallas and they saw like
It's really popping.
yeah,
You're
they
also
saw-
having motion over here.
yeah,
too,
exactly.
so,
They
yeah.
like the thing that really got them to, be understanding because I'm older now. As like you guys are talking about how a lot of OGs stop playing, it's because life gets in the way. You know, you gotta have the money to pay your bills. You gotta make sure that you can pay everything. So I finally was like in a position. I think everybody in Halo is finally in a position to make this your real job.
Yeah.
So once they saw that I'm okay, I'm paying my rent, I'm doing everything okay in Dallas. They the one thing that really got them going was when I'm in a Best Buy ad. So if you go to Best Buy and you go to the Razor section, I'm in every single. It's not just me. It's like me, Scump, Formal, and two of the old Valorant players. It's in every Best Buy in the nation. So that's when
Tight.
So I got thank you. So I got to tell my parents like, hey, go look in Best Buy, you'll go see me. And then they saw that and they're like, okay.
You're doing something.
Yeah, shit's getting real.
And then they started going to my tournaments. They've been to every single one since they've seen that. They've been to because the tournament was in Orlando. They went to the Orlando.
Nice.
They got to see me win the world championship, and that was like
tight.
my
the
Super
moment.
Bowl?
yeah, that was like my best moment because they, like I said, they always want me to go to school. They want to see me walk across the stage.
You're right.
They got to see me accomplish what I've always wanted to do since they took me to my
That's
first
amazing.
tournament, and then because they haven't been in a tournament in a decade.
You're right.
Yeah.
So the first tournaments that they get to go to, they're seeing
Now
me win. It's
you're
like
really
awesome.
Yeah, 2006 when they were taking them, they're like
Yeah.
didn't know what they were getting themselves
Yeah.
into, and then
Exactly.
they're like probably like, damn it, I wish I never took my son to these.
What are
tournaments.
the prize pools like for these ones you guys have been winning?
Yeah, like you said, the 2.2 was one of the biggest ones. Where'd y'all place on that one?
So that was in 2016. I got 5th through 8th. That was a really like shitty tournament. The way that was like scheduled, it was like single elimination. It was like it was shitty. It was
just bad.
shitty, but still good payment. But for that 5th through 8th, I got like 25 bands a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Great.
That's good.
so now it's a lot more money. I say now in like the data, like I say in your, especially with salaries and everything, but also your normal tournaments opposed to just your world championship being like super, like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like our world championship now is $1 million. We won that one. We
What
got
does that get split between the players?
so For first, 400, so 100 bands per person.
So hold on. You've had 3 of those, right?
No.
Okay, no.
There's world championships. I didn't win 3 world championships. That's the goal. That's the goal this year. Yeah.
So how many world championships is there per year? Is it just one?
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
So we won the world championship. We won the super. The super was like 40 bands total. So 10 per person.
Yeah.
And then Orlando was 35 per person.
35,000 per person?
And then Charlotte was 25.
And this has all happened in how many months?
8 almost. So I say like, yeah.
Count it
9,
up.
Count it. Add that up.
Count it up.
Add that up. That's why there's Lon Vaughn and Chromie and LV.
No.
Right?
Good Chrome.
Oh, good Chrome. Yeah.
Chrome.
Like a regular Chrome.
The watch. The watch is
Chrome.
like the trophy that I got from that time period.
What's
The
the
little
watch?
Cartier.
Cartier.
Ooh,
It's all black.
Cartier.
It's like
Black
my.
on
And the black. Yeah.
I love that.
There's like the silver ones and everything stainless steel, but
Everybody got the silver ones. You don't see many with the
Nah,
black.
I
That's
love
the first time I've
that.
seen a black one. In
thank
person.
you.
Period.
I saw it like back in before the super I was talking about where everybody flew to Texas. I saw the watch online and I was like, if we win, I'm getting
That's
that
the
watch.
trophy.
That's my trophy. 5 months later, like I write down all my goals in my notes and write down all my things, just manifestation, law of attraction, all that shit. I wrote it down 4 months, 5 months later. I was able to get that watch. It was like
Sick.
great feeling. So like I said, it's all trophies.
That's dope.
I can't be
I
too
love
upset.
8-month period.
8
though.
month.
And so now with Halo back and the pandemic's not how it is, like, are they scheduling these things more often now? And are these different companies that do these tournaments, or is it typically the same people?
So that's a great question because there used to be different companies. They're called tournament organizers. So TOs. There used to be different TOs. Now it's usually you have to have a license to run the tournament. That's why it's more difficult for random people to just be hosting a tournament. So back in the day, it was like you got UMG, these other people that can run it, but now it's just strictly HCS. But there's like for our season, there's like 4 or 5 events total
Per year?
Yeah.
So you only won one World Cup or
yeah.
World
Champion.
And that
Champion.
was when was that?
October.
Is there another World Cup this year in October?
Yeah.
Are they in other places of the world, or are they always in the U.S.?
I've had tournaments outside the U.S. Unfortunately, there's none now. But I've been to London twice. But the World Championship's always in Seattle.
It's always Seattle.
Yeah, last year it was in Seattle. This year's in Seattle. But I
Why
love
is
Seattle.
that?
Microsoft and 343,
I knew there was something.
their office is in Seattle, so it's just easier for them.
Seattle's a cool city.
Yeah, Seattle's dope.
Yeah,
I've never
don't
been
mind
to
it.
Seattle.
It's a cool
dope.
city.
It's dope. It's like I was complaining about Raleigh. It's not even similar.
Yeah,
like
Maybe we need to do an episode in Seattle. Someone said
Seattle's
we did.
cool.
they got some stores out there. I've been to some. There's like that one store out there that's
Yo,
really
Bay-
popular.
Il Chris,
Out there, too.
everybody.
Yeah,
What's,
Chris
what's the
is out
store?
there.
You guys know the store.
It's
cool.
a resale. It's a resale.
It's
shop?
in Seattle.
The cool
No.
No,
Drip
that's
Tea.
LA.
Sneak City.
What is it?
Drip Tea Market.
Drip Team Market.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
lit.
who that is.
It's big.
Let's look them up.
Decently big.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest ones.
Drip Team.
That's cool. Have you been able to go to our new store yet?
Not yet.
You gotta
Not
check
yet.
it out. That one's crazy.
I want to.
Yeah,
to.
that one's
I got
crazy.
to.
Where do you stay up? Like
Up north?
Frisco, Plano?
No, I say downtown. I say
Downtown,
downtown,
okay,
but I used to be going to Frisco like for content but everything moved to downtown.
I was gonna say everything's
Yeah,
downtown
you
now,
guys
right?
are all
Yeah.
at AAC now.
Is the Frisco the hex quarter still there, or but it's just more of like personal chills?
Yeah, there's like Formal, he plays there. Dashy from Call of Duty, he plays there, and I think Shoston from the editing team, he's always there editing. Like you can still go there,
But
they're
most people are downtown.
Yeah, because they're I think the lease is up in November.
Oh, so
they're
it's gonna
up.
be done after that though.
Yeah.
The downtown one
No,
is
no.
crazy.
yeah, downtown one's dope.
I was walking around just like totally just like glorified.
Jack
just
Link's
like,
the
vending
beef
or
jerky
claw
machine. Yeah, once I
it's
saw
tight.
that, I was like,
bro, they had like complimentary snacks and
Oh, there's
shit.
a
Like
whole-
everything.
There's a whole
thing in
thing.
there.
Yeah, we walked in there.
Bro,
Got some
It's much more better, in my opinion, than
Yeah,
the
man.
hex quarters. Just because it's like more.
corporate.
Yeah,
like,
there's
more
more
stuff's there.
there's
yeah.
more
But
space
even the
and-
podcast setup they had, that like caged in
Oh,
glass
it's like
room.
it's like a. I'm watching
It's like
Fox 4
ESPN or
News.
something. Yes, bro.
They did.
He
They,
told us we could always do podcasts there. We should maybe start doing
Yeah,
fucking
you should.
optic ones there or something.
yeah, go pull up.
They
It's
give you
easier
like
to
a
catch
whole
them.
room and
Yeah,
everything. There's
the
like
whole
certain
room.
rooms and everything that's like designated for different content, which I think is great.
Yeah, we saw that.
I was so confused. I'm just like, the rooms are huge too.
That place is
Computers
giant.
everywhere. And I was just like, what's this one? It's just all Valorant, Halo. I'm just like, fuck. Like, it's so big.
It's dope.
So going back to the sneakers, we were talking before, and you were saying that you have a storage unit that still has some OGs. Can you go into when you first got into sneakers and how that correlates to, you know, everything you had going on in your early days?
All right, I would love to go into it. So,
Yeah, there you go.
So I can't remember the first shoe I got. You know what I'm saying? Like to get me into it. I've always been into fashion, clothes, and all that. It's just like, you know, there's different tiers when you get like certain money. You start getting different things like the polos. Then you got LRGs, the Crooks and Castles. So back in high school was when I became a pro at 14. So I became a pro my freshman year. So that's when I started, you know, getting money, but it wasn't, you know, big money, but it was enough for me to keep buying shoes for the price.
You couldn't buy this outfit.
No, not
I mean,
at all.
you're a kid, so it's like,
yeah,
who cares?
So, but I was still making great money for being, you know,
For your age.
freshman.
Yeah. None of your friends were probably making
Hell
money you were
no.
making.
Nobody.
Yeah.
He was that dude on campus.
Hell yeah.
I just, humbly, of course. But I think the first shoe that I really got that was like, you know, Jordan like that was I think the Oreo 6. I think that was like the first shoe I got.
Okay.
Love that shoe.
Yeah, and then I started just like getting into it just more. I would go and just buy out Zoomies. Like I would get the diamond tee to match the Tiffany, stuff like that. So, but I was just like, I can't remember even the year, but I was just like, my dad really probably got me into it the most when I was talking about how I would go out to the mall, stand outside with him, see all the people out there, just conversate. It'd be late at night or early morning, get the raffle tickets and everything.
Y'all would go do all that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Every time I
That's
got a pair, he would get a pair too.
I was going to say, Pops rocks them too? Oh, shit.
But his are all dead stock. His are all dead stock.
Oh,
So
he
to this
doesn't really
day,
rock 'em?
he rocks some, but some like the good
He likes
ones.
to collect them.
Yeah. Like
he's more of a collector.
the cement threes. I got the white cement threes, 2011. Like he has those, but I wouldn't wear them. I just wore the shit out of mine.
Yeah.
So, but I can't really like remember the exact time period I got into it. But I just always been into fashion and shoes since I was 14 years old, and then that's when I would just be online, copping shoes from Soul Collector, Riff.LA. That was my shit.
Shout out Jeff.
Yeah.
Shout out my dog.
But I wish I knew like right when I got into it, but I just know that just back then because it's like kind of just like a blur now.
It's just always been a part of you.
It was
Yeah.
a different, it was a
cool.
whole. It wasn't about reselling. Like
Yeah,
even the
no.
collectors were collecting, not thinking like I'm gonna sell these for a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
wasn't
money
about
in
money.
the future.
It was
a
about
lifestyle.
money, yeah.
Back then, there was a handful of people that, you know, on eBay you could find like some 85 Jordans and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but it just wasn't the same. The art of doing it was for having it, not
remember-
having it to sell it. Or
I read something about like when Paris SBs drops, people were trying to sell them for like $500 or $1,000 or something. I don't remember if that was exactly right, but they were like, yeah, like people didn't think that it was going to turn into like a $70,000 shit.
If Paris is, oh my god, that'd be
Sick.
crazy.
Yeah.
But I wish I knew like right when I got into it. But like 2010, I'm even thinking because I had like I was rocking like Mr. Pac-Man's at a tournament in 2010, like SBs, and I had like 2009 is probably when I really got into it because that's like I said when I became pro. But that's when I started.
I had
getting
no
everything.
idea you were like really
Into
about
it?
this. Like,
Oh
that.
yeah, I was.
I realized that.
Dude,
Because when you met him, he had Yeezy slides on.
Oh yeah,
you didn't know better.
because he was just chilling.
Yeah, he was just relaxing, practicing.
Yeah.
But that's like, dude, shoes were my thing, man. I would every day I would try and rock something different. I would look up all the drops. Like shoes were my life. Like just like I said, it's always been a part of me. But that's like going out there and doing everything. Like my dad probably is one that really helped me get into it the most.
Shout out Pops.
Yeah. What size do you wear?
Back then it was 11 through 12. So I would
Okay.
I would
Are you
try
sure?
and get. What'd you say? Yeah,
you sure?
Yeah. I'm sure about back then. But
but
nowadays,
what was the
Well, hold on.
what
Why
was
is
the
this-
reason
why
why?
is it smaller now?
I lost a lot of weight.
Oh,
So I was
okay.
like, I lost a lot of weight in my junior year of high school. Going into senior year, I lost like 50 pounds.
Okay.
And then that's when,
you
shoes
could fit a little different.
He was drinking all the Red Bulls and
Yeah.
Mountain Dews.
Yeah.
On the Code Reds.
Yeah, all the Code Reds.
Exactly.
Not eating, just gaming,
I remember
sweating
this,
it out.
this gaming spot opened up whenever I was in high school.
That was a big deal back then. We had them too.
You just go into the place and
Like
they had
a
all
cafe.
Yeah, land
Yeah,
rooms.
the cafes, exactly.
Yeah.
But they always had the energy drink everybody drank was balls.
Dude,
Balls.
balls was.
They had that at ours
Bro.
too, though. It was
Maybe
the blue. It was the blue
it had to be
bottle.
I wonder if it was the same company.
It looked ribbed.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Hold up. But balls was the drink everybody played in those cafes or drank in those cafes, bro. Everybody was on them ribbed balls. You know?
I knew you were gonna say balls too. BAWLS.
Yeah, BAWLS balls.
Yeah, it's
They
different
had
type
two
of
different colors.
balls.
They had the blue
different.
They have blue balls. They have the blue bottle balls. And they have the clear one.
Bro.
Yo, they knew what they were doing, bro.
I don't remember
the rib part got me. Yeah, because it really was ribbed. That's why
They had little nipples all over the thing.
Yeah, bro.
Nipples on the balls.
They had one by my house, and so that's what we would do when we wanted to play games together. And they had everything loaded on the
Yeah,
computers.
it's all loaded.
Counter-Strike, Battlefield.
I remember,
I
I'd
mean,
stay up
StarCraft, Warcraft. I mean, you
Hell
name
yeah.
it. Do you ever play StarCraft or Warcraft? Or what's
Warcraft.
Diablo? Was the other one?
Diablo is what I really got into, like Diablo 1 and 2. That's when I played like way back in the day. Not
Never
too
get into
much.
that shit.
Dark Souls.
But StarCraft was like way too hard for me. It's way too hard. They used to have StarCraft at the same tournaments as us.
Yeah.
I used to
It was
watch those
big.
tournaments. That shit's
My homeboy
crazy.
Mikey would play, but he would play for till like 6 in the morning. Like you just can't stop.
But
Like, you have to
StarCraft
keep
is
playing.
StarCraft. I feel like the gamers was like, wasn't it predominantly like Asian countries that destroyed everybody? In
Yeah,
in
yeah, and
StarCraft?
it's still like that.
It's still like that.
In-
Yeah,
in
no,
certain-
like they're
in
bro,
certain
the Asian
PC
companies
games.
or countries were just killing shit in StarCraft.
Their regimen on like how they practice is like
Insane.
the way they move as
yeah.
a unit on that, because obviously that's like where you select all.
Yeah,
and
you gotta
like
do all the
move
crazy
your
And they're just like-
strengths. yeah, bro. And the way that that's crazy. I had a good time with Warcraft in my day too.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it.
And there was one more that was like real
League of
war.
Legends was huge,
No, it was.
but that's
I want
newer.
to not Search and Destroy. It was called, but it was like
Age
you
of
know,
Empires.
No, it was like
You remember
real
those?
like war, like
Oh.
like United States, like the Northerners and Southerners, or it was or like Germany and
Age of not Age of Empires.
you could pick your
Age of Empires.
country. No, that's like that's like Romans. And like this
I
was
feel like
like
they did different ones.
I want to
This
know
was
what you're
like-
talking about, but I have no idea.
it was just like Warcraft, that same style
Like
of
where it's like
game,
a full
but
map type
yeah,
shit.
but you could pick. It was like
War of
Germany or
Worlds?
something like that.
I swear I just had it on the tip of my tongue.
So,
Counter-Strike.
with sneakers being how they are now, do you just pay resale value? I mean, or do you just only get it if you can get
You
it?
enter sneakers.
Yeah, do you enter the sneakers app and try to win?
You remember? You're like,
If I want to have a bad day, but I do be entering. I try.
you at least try for the ones
yeah,
you want.
I try.
You
Like
hit
if
every
it's
once in a while.
No.
Damn.
Haven't hit. But I'll like if I really want the shoe, I'll
just go get it.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like there's nowadays there's certain shoes I didn't get back then that now
You wanna go back?
I want them like really bad. Like
That's what
I've
I've
been
been trying to do, too.
there's 3 shoes that are just like
Let me
my
hear 'em.
Yeah, we
all-time
gotta hear
real.
these.
I
We
gotta
gotta hear
know.
these.
So the ones I never got, I could tell you the story about how it was like I didn't get them too. Skunks is number 1. Skunk SB by far number 1. I really want that shoe.
Just the regular, not the reverse one. That's
Yeah, the
number.
OG one.
Yeah,
The
the
OG.
OG.
The high top.
So you guys know Quick Strikes and everything back
Yep.
then.
Yep.
So that was a Quick Strike. I would always go to the skate shop near me. It wasn't Skate Park or Tampa. It was West Side Skate Shop.
West Side Skate. Yeah.
And I would always get my Quick Strikes from there. But this day when they released, I was in school. I wasn't able to drive yet. So I tried to get my mom to pick me up early from
She
school to go. She said no. She took me afterwards.
And it's
When I
gone.
got there, it was gone. Never was able to get them.
command and conquer.
There it is.
Okay, that's the day.
There it is.
Okay, number 2.
Raging Bulls.
Okay.
Raging Bull, OG, but the pack.
the
Out
pack?
the pack.
He
Yeah.
got him.
I got the
Yeah,
He
pack.
got the pack.
So my
Scary
dad.
days when I wear them, but I still wear them.
Yeah, because can you even wear those anymore?
Yeah,
Are
I
they
still wear
crumbling?
'em. Now the guy when I got him in, who I bought them from, was just stuffed with silicas, like just all inside the
So
shoe,
they're
and they had
still
been
good.
really warm
So
but
you can
taken
wear 'em
care
still,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my dad he bought them for me on Flight Club for my birthday one year, and you know how the inventory is on Flight Club. When he bought them, they told him that they told him
It was
that they
already
already
gone.
yep. So it wasn't able. There was no more sizes, so
Okay.
I wasn't able to get them. And then last one is Heineken's. Never was able to get them online
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So I noticed the 3 shoes, 2 of them were skate shoes. So are you more SB than Jordan? Are you? I mean, how did you
He's got
skate?
the long Vons on right
Did
now.
you-
It kind of looks like a
those
Cyrus V3.
Cyruses. Did you skate growing up? Like, where's the ties with that?
So I did skate. Wasn't good, obviously.
Of course, I feel like everyone at that
yeah.
age has tried.
Tried,
skating.
yeah. Back then it was huge. Tony Hawk days.
So like skating and paintball and skating were like my 2 things I really did outside of gaming, because back then like people were going outside, like
Those are your outdoor activities.
yeah, people were actually playing outside, actually doing like stuff like that. So that's what like I wasn't good, like I said, but that's where I got all my fashion inspo from. Was I would rock Diamond, I would rock all the skate brands at first.
Turks and Castles,
Yes.
you said.
Oh, LRG, I was an LRG fiend.
Yeah. But see, even back then, you're lucky because you grew up in Clearwater, so you had West Side and you had skate park of Tampa, a spot.
Yeah, they had the Tampa opening every year.
I want to say skate park of Tampa is one of the biggest SB allocations.
Well, no, not only that, but the Tampa opening tournament is the biggest, one of the biggest skate tournaments for like up and coming skaters. I can't remember. It's called Tampa Opening.
Tampa Am.
And it's always been that way. And so being that there, that's culture. It's probably the culture is there.
Big skate culture in Tampa,
for sure.
But that's just like I just was watch skate videos, all the type of shit. I would rock Osiris's, DCs were my shit. And then like once I saw these, I was like,
you're like, I gotta get it.
Yeah, because it gave me a lot of like.
I haven't seen the all white. The all white's clean.
His notes say that he likes to wear all white shoes.
Oh, really?
It says here.
It says here in the notes that you like all white.
Who gave you these notes?
Don't worry about it.
Because that's crazy.
You're aPG?
Yeah.
That's crazy because I don't even know.
You ever seen the Nardwar?
Yeah,
you have to know because you're aPG.
Dude, it makes me feel so special, bro. That's dope.
Because when we were talking, you said you had the LV trainers and you said you had the cream ones,
and
which
he
is typically this is mainly all white.
He also said he was at our store trying to get all white forces.
Because I do love all white shoes. So I was like, whoever said that, I haven't said that out loud to anybody.
Someone just knows.
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy.
Little birdie.
Yeah.
But no,
So then the Jordan side came from your dad then, right? Like getting into like Jordans and J's. Because you're influenced over here, but then your dad's taking you to get the raffles and stuff, which is more of a Jordan thing. And so that's kind of where both those kind of played a toll as far as just sneakers.
Well, I also play basketball.
Oh, okay. So then that works.
I used to be a much bigger fan than I am now. I'm more of a playoff fan, more casual now. But back then, I was like, my parents got me into basketball. You know, all parents, they make their kids play sports. Basketball was the one that I really loved.
Yeah.
They had season tickets to Orlando Magic. We would go out there and whatnot. I would go to basketball camp every year. Tracy McGrady is my favorite player of all time.
Wow.
So I had the Tracy McGrady shoes, everything.
Those
so
are
I
cool.
was
T-Mac Adidas.
Yeah.
Adidas. What sucks is, bro, I went to Champs the other day and the green one, they're just sitting on the
I
shelf.
bought them. I bought the green ones when they
They're
came
just
out
sitting
thinking
there.
they weren't going to sit.
I told Manny, I'm like, bro, these are the T-Macs. And they're just sitting
they're just in here
here.
because no one knows what they are. All these new kids have no idea what T-Macs
bro.
are.
no idea probably. But that's like where because I was still into Jordans and everything, but SB is what I started with mainly. But like I was still into basketball and everything, so that's where they got me to getting into Jordans and whatnot.
Do you have like New Balances or Asics or Adidas in your collection now, or is it strictly
Designer
just
and
those?
Nike?
I try to get into Asics, but I just can't get into it. It's just not
I
me.
can't get into them or New Balance. I can't really get into.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
he's
there
getting
with
into
New
New
Balance.
I bought him a pair of nanny shoes.
Yeah, as a joke, and
Yeah.
they're my favorite. I thrashed
like
them. I
them?
need a fresh. Yeah, I'm on. I need to find.
He was
a fresh
wearing them
pair.
when Drewski came to the shop, and Drewski called them the nannies. He's like, "Oh, these look like they're for some nannies."
It's like the old gray New Balance, but they're backless. You know what I'm
it's like a
saying?
slip-on. It's
so
like
it's
a
a
slip-on
slip-on, but they're so dope.
I bought them for him as a joke.
I need a fresh
and
pair.
then he won't stop wearing them.
Yeah, I
man.
thrashed them. I need a new.
Are they very
pair.
comfortable?
Yeah, very comfortable.
So when you guys are like practicing, do you come dripped or do you come casual? Because we come to drip everywhere we go. We're pretty much I put a fit on.
You mean like if I go to a tournament?
No, if you're just like going
practice.
to the office to practice.
Oh yeah, I'm always trying to put it on. I'm always putting it on.
What's
You
your-
can't tell me that's not hard.
That's
Tell
actually dope.
him it's not hard, please.
Do you
I
have?
can't tell that.
If you had this shoe, you would slip them on this morning. You would be like, I'm going with these.
I
It
got
happens
the-
to me.
I don't think
It happens to me all the time.
Comfortability is like
Yeah.
it can be a driving factor.
But you were
honestly.
rocking the Yeezy slides.
Is that your go-to
right?
when you're practicing for the most part?
the slides.
Slides.
Yeah.
They used to, and then I just beat them to shit. And then I started rocking the Balenciaga speed trainers. I start wearing those strictly just for tournaments when I'm playing because they're just very, very comfortable.
It's light.
Yes.
Really?
Maybe
Well,
it's not
that's
so
good for
tight on
design.
your
That's the
foot.
sock one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not so tight on your foot too.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking when the guys wore those 6s to the tournament, I was like, bro, their feet got to be killing them. It's
Pinky toe,
cardboard
no.
soles,
Yeah.
the toes pointy.
Which is he didn't though.
He didn't. Yeah.
I used to.
We
I
did
used
call
to,
you out amongst ourselves about the
Right,
picture.
he didn't even
But
wear
see,
the sixes.
I have them. I have them still. They're like those are coming in like are gonna be in like a shrine. Like when I get my crib, I'm putting
have
that.
all
It's
the
like-
green and
yeah.
black
They
stuff
weren't, but they're
together.
not comfortable, and you were like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna wear."
I'm-
Did you wear the
because-
speedrunners that day?
No, he
I
had the
didn't
slides
have
on
them.
that
I
in
had
that
the slides
picture.
back then. I got the runners before Orlando, and then I'm very
Then
superstitious.
you realize like,
Yeah.
okay, this
Now-
is the
so
move.
now you're like, I gotta keep wearing them to
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
winning.
yeah,
All right,
exactly.
all right.
So, but
I'm not into that kind of superstitious stuff.
He is, bro. He didn't want to put his
Dude.
bag on the ground. So he's like, I gotta put it up.
I am terribly superstitious. Like last tournament, I wear the same fit like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like if you saw the tournaments from like they have a 3P picture from like lining us up from the first tournament, second, and third.
And
we got the
same fit every single one because I changed my fit one day. Like on the Friday at Charlotte, I wore a different pair of pants, like some new sweats. We went to game 5. It was looking shaky. Right? Yeah. I was like, I can't do this.
And ever since you didn't do that, now you just
next day I was like, I'm wearing what I wore. That's my Saturday. Going back to my Saturday fit. I'm not gonna try and do anything different. I'm going back to
funny when we play Fortnite and we are just getting clapped because it's sweaty in the lobbies. Yeah. I'm like, it's the fit. Everyone change your fit. Like we did it the other day. I was with Manny, so we all changed our fits to like stormtroopers, and that didn't work. You did
the all cause.
We did cause, and so we're just trying to switch, and then finally when we find one, we're like, oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
It's really not though. Are you superstitious though? Are you superstitious to where like you have to be like the 4th guy on the end or like the second to last on the row or like?
I have to be last.
Always?
I always have to be on the end. As a matter of fact,
you were last when we came to the practice. Yeah. You're all the way on the end.
I always have to be on the end. It's just easier for me because I don't. A thing that's really big is screen looking. So when you're playing, you like an advantage of when you're next to all your teammates is you can look at their screen, see where they're at. Say you die in a certain position, right? If you don't flick off that camera, like press any buttons, it will stay on that camera, and then it will follow the guy that just killed you. It will follow to where he's going. You can see where they're going, so you can keep calling him out. So say I just died, and then my teammate's still alive, trying to look at where the guy's going. He can look at my screen, like right over like this, look at the screen, see where he's going, and then keep
Fortnite does that too until it loads you to your teammate. So it's only like a small time period on Fortnite where you get clipped, and it shows him for like 4 or 5 seconds, and then it goes to your teammate.
Exactly, but since I don't do that, so that's why I sit on the end.
Because you don't need to look.
Yeah, I'm always just focused on what I'm doing. But my teammates,
he's like, I don't die.
I don't die out there.
Exactly.
I've been doing this for so long.
But there's some people out there. You see them, they'll just like.
They're looking back.
They're going crazy.
But you got to take that kind of stuff to an advantage, though, because those are certain things that could help you in a win.
Yeah.
If your coach isn't calling it out or whatever, it's something you got to keep in mind.
It's very important to like stay. It's called a death cam. So it's like that's like a skill in itself to not be fidgety, because I'm a fidgety ass person. So like when you die, you don't want to press any buttons. I have to literally like take my hand off and just be like,
just stop.
Mm-hmm. Because it's very, very important.
Speaking of fidgety, do you drink energy drinks, coffee, do you take Adderall? I mean, as a kid, were you ADHD or anything like that?
I drink caffeine. I drink energy drinks. I drink like
Mountain Dew?
Yeah, Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
I was Mountain Dew Game Fuel. I was saying because they were talking about how they I feel like we talked about this before, but how athletes get in trouble for taking steroids. They were like, you guys need to look at Major League Gamers for the Adderall use.
Dude, that's like...
Is it crazy?
I can't say too much. Okay, we could talk about it off camera. Sure, but like...
I mean, we all know.
But I do think like one thing I do say is a myth is people think that Adderall will bring you from like a C, like say it's grading scale. You're a C player. They think that's going to bring you to like an A. It's not possible. It's you have to be like an A to have it help
stay
you.
At an A.
Yes, like you can't. It's not going to make you just a better player. Like
this guy can't take anything because it does. He's already pre-wired. So if he drinks coffee, it does the opposite, and he freaks out and doesn't like it. That's how Larry hates it.
Too. I don't like it either.
That's how a lot of people. See, that's the thing. A lot of people. It could be great for you, but a lot of people don't like. I can't say anything. But if they take it, they might get like a headache, feel like ass,
stomach ache if you didn't eat right.
It actually make you worse.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes it just
that's me.
It could make you like over jittery or something
yes,
like that.
Exactly. My brain's just 100 miles an hour. I don't talk. It makes me very antisocial, and I'm just thinking, and
you get over there, you're just like,
it makes me anxious.
In his own world. He's that Barney. He's that Barney.
And that's just from like, and that's just from like drinking a Red Bull. You know what I'm saying? Like something with
even a chai tea latte.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes. If I'm on an empty stomach,
that's gonna
set you off.
I'm out of there. I'm ruined.
I gotta have coffee. Like this has 4 shots in it.
Yeah, this dude, and he might drink a couple of those in a day. Sometimes.
Yeah, well, I've heard it's bad to drink over 6 to 8 shots a day, so I try not to do that.
So I try to stay right at 8.
So I stay at a 4 and hope that it just lasts all day.
But how much
you have to try to not drink 8 shots.
In the 1 shot of espresso, how much caffeine is it?
It's got to be 40 to 60, right?
Or something.
Yeah, so it'd be like 200.
But like a Monster's 300 milligrams of caffeine, so it's like
can't be that much different.
But I know Monster has other ingredients that are bad.
It has
like I've seen
taurine and all that.
I've seen videos on like TikTok where they're like, I don't drink Monster, but watch what this can do. And he's like on his like workbench, and there's like this nasty like stain of like oil and grease or whatever, and he's trying to get it out with other solutions. The cleaning solutions is not working. They just pours Monster on it and just wipes right away. I'm like, bro, this can't be real. Like,
That's the thing.
there's no way I'm drinking this.
It looks. I've seen that type of stuff. It just looks terrible.
But shout out to Monster. If you sponsor me, I'll still drink it.
I do. I do like to drink caffeine. I do like the Starbucks drinks. It has like a little bit of caffeine.
Which ones?
Strawberry acai refresher.
Oh, okay, yeah, he likes those. Ian likes those.
Yeah, I like those.
But there's
like-
caffeine in that?
Yeah,
But it's not a lot.
Yeah, it's like-
just like a chill thing.
If you get like the big size, I get the Trenta.
Oh,
Is it
So-
because the tea that's in it has the
Yeah.
the caffeine or whatever, the ginseng or
How
whatever?
much does that one have the drink to?
I think 80 to 100.
Okay, so
So
still
it's
something.
you get something. It's like you get. It's more than like a Coke.
It's more than a cup of coffee.
I mean, I've talked to people where they say the healthier option is green tea. If you can just cut back on any other thing, just go green tea.
Yeah.
I just drink green tea, and I'm like, this is trash. Nothing's happening.
Yep.
But going back to what you guys were saying about how it makes people worse, dude, I've seen. There's one I will never forget it. At a tournament, I'm sitting behind one of these players with my teammate, watching this guy, and he's just the worst player I've ever seen because you can tell he's just tweaking.
Yeah.
You can tell he's tweaking, and you can tell he just took too much, and he thinks he's playing good.
He thinks
That's
he's good.
another big issue. Is people will take too much, and they think they're doing something. Next thing you know, they're just neg 10, neg 15,
Yeah.
just running around.
He
trying
really
to do
just
too
looks
much.
like a meth head.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
He's just like, ugh.
you have to like you can't just like take it and just because people just want to be like speed freaks, speed
Yeah.
demons,
Yeah.
and just be like running around, be 18 and crack, just thinking you got to do all this shit. It's like, dude, you just look like an idiot.
You look stupid.
Yeah. So
Very notable to you kids out there. Don't
Yeah.
just be taking
Over-caffeinate.
Adderall thinking that you're about to
Or over-caffeinate.
or over caffeinate thinking that you're about to be lit.
Please.
You are just running
Please
in
don't.
circles.
Keep it natural. Drink some. What was it? The Mountain Dew. What was
Game
the
Fuel.
name?
Game
Mountain
Fuel.
Dew Game Fuel.
Now Hex gave me some of the game fuel when we went to the office last year. He gave me like I
case
guess
of it?
because you guys don't drink that, so I
Yeah.
took it home with me and I like it. And the cool thing about it is it's got the little slide top.
the tap.
yes,
Yeah.
you
Bro.
can like click it back. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
important because even if you knock it or whatever, like driving in your car and you take a turn or whatever, like it's still
sealed.
intact,
That
bro,
is cool.
sealed. And it's not. It doesn't taste too like tardy like Monster or any of these other drinks.
It's not too.
Does it taste like a
energy
huge
drinking.
chemical? Like it's just one big
I
chemical.
didn't look at the ingredients of it, so I don't know if it was healthy or not. But I'm sure it's good.
Shout out to Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
Yeah, shout out Game Fuel for real. That was my first time trying it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good because when I was at the Hex quarters all the time, I would always.
That's
drink
what
it.
you
Oh,
lived
yeah.
off of.
Oh yeah.
I feel like everyone would get accustomed to that, living
Yeah.
off of that. Manny's bad. Like Manny will wake up and Jordan, like they'll wake up. Jordan will wake up, drink a Celsius.
See, I can't.
Manny will wake up and get a Monster.
That's why I
Celsius
stopped.
get me
Like,
cracked.
what
Celsius is like too much.
Too much?
Celsius is a lot, man. You just dude, that's for working out.
Yeah.
If I drink a Celsius,
It's
I
like
gotta
a
go.
pre-workout
Yeah,
type
yeah. I
situation.
gotta go run. do
trying to
something.
lift something after that.
Trying to lift something.
Crazy.
If I
Celsius
if I was to drink that and play, I just that would
That would
be
crack
me.
you out?
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
too jittery, just like too much.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing, do you have any upcoming tournaments?
We had online tournaments, but those just ended. So online tournaments are done for the season, and then we have the LAN
You have
tournaments.
to
and
be
stuff.
live.
So the
You have
next
to be
2
live
weekends.
during those. Like
Like
what if you're cheating? Like how do they know? Like they got like film
That's a
you
great- that's a
right,
great
like
question.
a big camera
Yeah.
just above you,
guys-
watching y'all or
You
something.
probably have to log in.
You
or
guys got
something.
great questions, bro. For real. So with that, you have to submit your screen like a recording, or you have to go live. So trying to think. For instance, there was like a cheating accusation, one of our last tournaments, and then the
Against
person. No. One of the people have to go live, and they have to, show their point of view, show that they're not cheating, show it like a monitor cam as well. Like, say you have the cameras here, you have to have the camera pointing at his monitor so you can see his screen.
Yeah,
Because
you
you can
can see
toggle,
everything.
you can toggle cheats on and off really easily.
How do you cheat? Like what
So
does cheating
you-
consist of
It's like
in this game?
so you have something called walls, so you can see through the wall. Say like that wall right there, you just see through. Say I'm hiding behind it, just see right through. But you have to try to play it off to, if you're in a competitive setting, you got to play it off to where you're not like just looking through and be like, hey, he's here, he's here. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? So
you have
that's
to just know, like, use it, know he's there, and not say anything.
Run around
Yeah.
to where he's in the
exactly
visuals.
because that's what people do. That's what
I
the
mean
sad
that's
part
hacking.
is. Yes.
Yeah. And people do that.
Yeah,
still
that's
often?
the issue is you can't in Halo. There's no like it's called an anti-cheat,
Yeah.
so you can't really know. You
If
it's
someone's
just
really cheating.
yeah.
Were those guys cheating?
It's,
Did they win?
No, they didn't win a tournament, but they did
thank
very
God.
well. But it's like it's all allegations at the end of the day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They don't have anything to like
To prove it.
exactly. But there's like
Call of Duty does, right?
yes,
Yeah.
I think so. But the thing is also a lot of the thing that gets people jammed up is there's something called you guys know Discord.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
a cheating Discord. So people will join the Discord. People will see that this person's in the Discord.
Oh, and then you find
Yeah.
their user on the Discord. You
Yeah.
know they're in there.
And then they're like, they'll get called out because like, why are you in there? They're like, I just wanted to see. I just want to see who else is in there.
First off, why are you not getting a burner Discord and getting in there?
Yeah,
on your
if you're gonna cheat, be smart.
That's exactly. People they're bad criminals.
Yeah.
They're bad criminals.
Yeah.
Like they just go in the Discord to like. I saw a guy he tweeted the other day because it's really rampant in the amateur community because that's when people are like this next tournament is an invite only, right? You can only get to the tournament by placing well online and getting the points online to qualify.
Oh,
so
nice.
people.
So there won't be as many cheaters in that?
Well, it's not even that. It's just like people are gonna. If you only have 10 people able to go to the tournament and there's people playing online, there's gonna be some people out there that are gonna do whatever the fuck they need to do to make sure they get to the tournament.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So that's like the issue is like there's like a whole team that we were playing one of the weekends and I saw a day before on Twitter a whole bunch of cheating accusations, right? Yeah. And this is different than the team I was talking about earlier. After the game, like I went in the game chat and I said, "Hey, what's going on with you guys? Why do you guys have all these allegations?" You know, just genuinely.
Genuinely asking.
The guy like gave me like a smart ass response. Like it was the most smart response. He's like, "Cause I was bored or something." I was like, "Well, you can't say that if you were joining Discord because you're bored." I'm like,
it's not how it works.
Exactly.
Have a better excuse.
And
than
if they
that.
become defensive like that, they're guilty.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like a lot
up.
of things in that regard. You have to look at just how they speak, how they're being defensive, like you said, how they're acting.
But at the end of the day, even if they cheat, if you're a better player, you're still going to kill them.
If they see you through the wall, it's hard. It's hard because you can't make a play.
You can't make a play. Yeah.
When they just are seeing
you can't prepare for the attack if they see you before.
I was hacking on Counter-Strike before I started quitting. I got bored with it, so I downloaded these hacks.
I was bored.
I was a hacker. I was bored. See, I was bored.
That's the issue.
But I was getting tired of it, and so I'd go into these different lobbies and have my hacks uploaded. So I'd have like aimbot, reload, wall hack. I had all of them. So basically, like you could just be running through a building on the other side, and I just shoot you in the head just through the wall. And then I wouldn't have to do anything, so I'd just be running, and it'd just go.
You wouldn't even shoot?
Yeah,
no, I didn't have to.
Oh my
God. But it would automatically.
All I would have to do is just run full speed around the map, and it would just. I'm just killing everybody, bro.
That's
like 30
one.
and 0. Like
the aimbot.
Yeah, I didn't mention the walls is like
that's a big one.
That's the most prominent in my opinion because you can kind of hide
you can
walls.
hide that one easy.
But like what he's talking about the aimbot, like it really is like that. You just be walking because there's people that would just
your whole
cheat.
body for you and everything, just shoot you in the head.
There's people in matchmaking, like ranked and whatnot. They'll just. They're blatant cheaters. Like they want you to know that they're cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a guy out there. He would just be like, "Yeah, I'm ruining your game. I'm cheating." Blah blah. It's just like some weirdo shit.
Yeah,
But that type of shit you like see him like.
But those aren't pros, are they?
Toxic
no,
gamers.
Those are just amateurs.
This is just a weird guy that needs to get a job.
At the end of the day, I got banned from like some really good servers. Yeah, like some like DS Dust servers that were like top. I just didn't care. Like,
You're just done with it at that point.
I was over it.
But that's people do exactly what you're talking about. They said they're bored. They'll go in the Discord. Oh, I just want to see who's in it. I'm like,
it's like no, you're in the Discord because you want to.
You're in there for it's a weird reason. I'm never gonna join it. Like I don't want to. I gladly would love to see who's in there, but I'm not gonna join it myself. That would be the most incriminating thing in the world. Stupid. It's stupidity.
Yeah, you could lose it all just from something so simple.
What does your practice schedule look like?
Yeah, like what's a day in the life?
Do you get days off?
Yes. So currently, right now, I've been streaming a lot on Twitch. So I wake up around 8, 9 a.m. I'm live around 10 to, I usually say between 10 and 2 p.m., but now it's been like 10 to 11.
Their kids aren't at school?
Well, there's like grown people. A lot of people work from home.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them are adults.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. My son is actually the type of kid that like does everything while watching a stream, does the dishes while streaming, cooks while watching a stream, like everything he's just watching.
So I wake up around like I said 9, 10 a.m. or 8, 9 a.m. stream starting between 10 and 11. I stream for about 4 hours. I like to start or stop at 3 to 3:30 because I start my scrimmages at 5. So my team starts to play together at 5 o'clock.
Right.
So we play at 5 o'clock against different teams, and that's usually it's not like Monday through Friday. It could be Monday, Tuesday. It's usually 5 days on, 2 off. That's like our schedule.
5 days on, 2 off. Okay.
Yeah, but
it could be
any
those 2
days.
days could be any.
Yeah,
2 days.
it could be the weekend. Usually it's Friday. That's usually like the day that we try and get scheduled off. But it could be just.
Is it hard to work with other people's schedules? Because sometimes it gets difficult trying to get us on the schedule.
It used to be back in the day,
Right.
but now it's different because this is everybody's job. So everybody usually, the only person that has like a real life job is our coach, but he's always, still on time every night.
That's good.
Yeah. So we, back in the day, people might have other shit to do. Say you got high school or something.
College or
Yeah.
whatever.
But now it's like everybody usually starts same time, 5 o'clock, because everybody's getting paid. And
Y'all have a real schedule. Yeah, you guys
and
are
you're getting
on,
paid a salary.
And
to
then
do it,
and
so.
Hex provides the place for everyone to link up, and then all the necessities are there as far as his food and everything like that as well.
Crazy.
I still love those headquarters. I want to go back now. We went during the transition. I'm sure it's full OpTic now. They have the sign out front and everything.
Where?
Yeah. Downtown.
AAC.
downtown.
When we went, it was right when the other they merged.
Envy,
Envy, yes.
The teams that used to be Envy teams now wear
All
OpTic.
yes, because we were Envy.
Beautiful.
We were Envy.
Oh,
when
y'all
we-
were Envy.
Yes. So we were Envy for like a year and a half or so before OpTic, and then when the merger, like we were thinking about moving to Dallas, my teammate and I, Trippy, and then we started hearing rumors about the merger, like, hey, you guys could be OpTic and whatnot, and then when we actually moved to Texas is when it happened.
That's cool.
Is OpTic, when you were with Envy, was OpTic just somebody that you always looked up like, man, I wish I could be on OpTic?
I mean,
They weren't because they weren't the best Halo team. They were the best Halo team.
Well, OpTic is always like just the organization, period.
Right.
It's
like-
Itself.
the
It just
organization,
holds weight.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
professional.
OpTic is just like it's its own thing. Like there's FaZe, but I don't know if you guys have seen.
Yeah.
FaZe has had a lot of issues recently.
Oh, I've been seeing them airing it out on IG stories and stuff.
Yes.
They basically allowed a bigger company with money who doesn't know anything about gaming take over, and these guys who created it aren't getting credited, aren't getting paid. So, one of them was talking about how they hired this one guy to do like marketing and stuff, and he makes $1 million a year, but doesn't do anything. And he games, but he's not like an actual member like that. And he's just like everyone's profiting off of their success, except for the guys that
Built it.
cold-heartedly built it. I don't know how true that is. I'm just basing off of just reading stories. I haven't really
Honestly,
dug into it.
Nobody
but
knows how true it
It
is.
just seems
It's
very
what-
That's what
unfair.
they're saying.
Yeah, that's what, because it's like the people within the organization that basically started it are trying to
They're
regain
trying to
control.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I watch Ruggs' YouTube channel. Like he's cool. I
Rug is
him.
like his own.
I like
person.
him.
He's not even like
Yeah.
nearly the same as all the other people. He's like his own. He's
he just
doing
popped
great
up
for
in my
himself.
algorithm one day, so I watched like 3 or 4 episodes. Like, oh, these are cool. Like he just does things with his family
Yeah,
and
very
stuff like that.
family-oriented.
Like, that's nice.
But I brought up FaZe just because they're kind of similar. It used to be, but OpTic is just like FaZe does more of the content. You know, the brand deals. They're just like I said, they got their own issues. But OpTic has always stuck to
Like gaming core, like winning.
just like they're like a family. So even when you're in the organization, it's like you or outside the organization, you see how they are moving. They're moving properly,
yeah.
and how everybody takes notes from how Hex and
knows
Astro,
what he's doing.
everybody's
Right.
doing the thing. Yeah. So OpTic was always like a dream. Even when I was on it back in 2016, I still wanted to, it wasn't the same as being on it now. Like it's a
Yeah.
much different time period. But OpTic, just the fans, everything. You have a great opportunity when you join this organization. And one of the things that I love about them is they give you a platform to showcase your personality rather than just putting you on payroll to just be
Right.
like, all right, we got these players here. Let's just give them a jersey and let them be. They make sure that we're in interviews, we're in content,
Yeah.
that people get to see who we actually are behind the controller.
We're here right now.
Here we
Exactly.
are.
Like this is, like I said, this is a dream come true. Like being able to sit here with you guys just from playing video games.
That's it.
And just, I mean, it also allows you to branch out for people that are in the sneaker world, get to know you better because you're also into sneakers. So it's like you're able to touch a different fan base that has a similarity of correlation of what you like and interest as well. And I felt that way whenever we first met Hex. I mean, anytime we do anything with that man, it's very like, yes, it's very business oriented, but you also feel the love and the friendship is there too. You don't feel like you're just like, doing something
Working
with
for a
it.
corporate
Yes,
company.
bro. Like, and he's very inviting as far as like Rangers games, all the different tournaments.
Tell him I'm traveling with aPG.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Please, first class. I'm trying to
Yeah,
be.
Paige.
that's what I'm saying.
Trying to be a gangster.
Book it, Paige.
I'm trying to go to
Look at Paige.
Seattle for the world.
Yeah,
Dude, please,
bro.
please come out, please.
Yeah.
That would be
That's the
nuts.
trip.
We need that's the one. That's the Halo one we need to go.
That
on.
is.
If you guys come out, they'll set you up with like probably your own booth and everything. Trust
Yeah,
me.
we
need
to
that. I mean,
Drop some merch.
drop some merch. Yeah, we can drop merch.
Some
Just-
Halo merch. Put me in touch with the Halo marketing team.
Please,
Yeah, we need to
dude.
create
It'll-
like
it will
the
help.
sword,
Yep.
recreate it. Be tight.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, man. Great chat today.
Yeah,
Super
and
fun.
I'm excited for everything you have coming up, but it was really cool to kind of get a deeper look, like you were just saying, to an opportunity to get to know you more. I feel like we have learned a lot today.
Yeah.
And like Ian had no idea that you were
I
like
didn't know
you're a real sneakerhead,
you've
you
been
know.
Going to skate park of Tampa and West
Side.
West Side, like crazy.
So
Tight.
super dope, man. It was a pleasure having you. I'm sure we'll be seeing you and having you a part of our platform a lot more in the future. Might need to do some kind of sneaker shopping episode as well.
Oh, that'd be
Please
cool.
let me know. Please let me know. I would love to.
Where can they find you? Give them all of your platforms.
Twitch is just aPG, A as in Apple, P as in Paul, G as in Gangster.
You got the 3-letter word.
Yep.
And then Twitter is A Pure Gangster, just all spelled out, basically one word.
Another one? Those are expensive. Where are you getting these?
I'm trying to get the 3-letter on Twitter too.
Yeah,
Oh man, that'd be hard.
I've been asking Hex. He's putting in some
Yeah,
calls for
for
me.
sure.
So, and then Instagram is Brad_laws. And
Wow, so you get the government on Instagram.
because I don't know how to like work my aPG and like I don't know. I want to change my Instagram.
OpTic_aPG.
But I want to get rid of the underscore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I'm
trying
really
to
on
narrow
that.
it down.
Yeah.
Just leave it OpTic APG.
Because I'm gonna try it. I gotta see how it looks.
Yeah,
We'll see how it
you
looks.
gotta
Because
look.
I really do want to change it. But
It's it also just helps in like SEOs and things like
Yeah,
that.
for
When you
sure,
correlate
'cause how
all
many-
the names to one, it's easier to find.
If they're
it.
searching for you on Instagram, that's what they're searching for.
What is it right now, Brad?
_laws, LAWS. So that is my
No Z.
B laws.
is my government. But I do need, like I said, I need to change it. But those are all my socials that I can think of. Oh, YouTube, OpTic APG.
There you go.
Gotta get the tube in there.
So, but that's it. I just started using Instagram like a year and a half ago. So
that's cool.
That's what I'm trying to.
That's crazy.
It's like I think 2021. Like that's my first post was on my birthday, 2021.
Crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
I've been on there since day one.
Yeah.
I wish I was. I kind of choked.
Nah, it's
like
all good.
so many moments. I wish I like posted. But
Yeah, and still had them on there.
yeah. But for real, thank you guys. Much
Yeah, of
love to
course.
all you guys. Thank you guys for having
Awesome,
me.
man.
This is
We
a dream come
appreciate
true. To anybody that's watching, I am a huge fan of Private Selection. Huge fan of the
Love
YouTube.
it.
Appreciate it.
I didn't understand, everything that was going on when I first met them. Like I think it was almost 2 years
Yeah, it
ago.
was a
We
long
did just
time
kind of
ago.
pull up
Yeah,
out of
we just pulled
nowhere
up out
some
of nowhere.
shoes.
But that was when I just moved to Dallas, so I wasn't like I didn't
Right.
know the shops, nothing like
You're
that.
familiar, yeah.
Facts.
But now that I'm in tune, it's like it's a dream come true to be here for real.
Love it.
I'm very
Awesome,
happy.
man.
that.
Thank
Nice
you guys.
meeting
Thank you guys for having me on your platform,
course.
and allowing me to speak.
It was
Yeah,
a
thank you for
pleasure.
coming.
Absolutely. Y'all tap in with the kid. You already know what time it is. We'll see y'all next time,
Later,
guys.
guys.
Thank y'all.